This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 26th day of July in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The opposition has scoffed at Vice President Jagdeo's plan to crack down on government officials using their influence to land government contracts for their friends and families. Yesterday, Mr. Jagdeo stated that the government has observed that public officials, especially at a regional level, have been influencing the award of contracts for their friends and families. He said the government will be pulling the brakes on that practice. At a press conference today, opposition member of parliament and the chairman of the People's National Congress Reform, Sherwin Holder, said Mr. Jagdeo cannot be taken seriously. He said the PPP may be on a mission to attempt to clean up itself from corruption as general and regional elections draw near.
Beyond the empty rhetoric about cracking down on the perpetrators and his fake moral outrage, no one expects him or the PPP to take any serious action. Corruption in the award of contracts is a PPP political and business operation. Expect more empty rhetoric from Jagdeo on this and other issues as elections draw closer.
The opposition People's National Congress Reform has long accused the government of handing out multi-million-dollar contracts to persons connected to the governing party and the party members. Mr. Holder suspects that Mr. Jagdeo is well aware of what has been taking place since his party took office, but chose to ignore it all the time.
Everybody knows that only family, friends, and public officials who are involved in these widespread acts of corruption are PPP connected, PPP appointed, or PPP by membership. Guyanese must understand the scale of this corruption crisis in public procurement. Since the PPP took office in August 2020, we are talking about hundreds of billions of dollars worth in fraudulent acts and transactions.
At his press conference yesterday, Mr. Jagdeo, the vice president, said regional officials have been informed that the government wants to ensure procurement opportunities remain within the regions, particularly for small contractors. He also said that the procurement process needs to be above board and transparent at all times. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Jam, we jam, we jam and jam up. We jam, we jam, we jam and jam up. Beat it like a fan.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, 9, and 10 students for the 2024-2025 academic year. VYC Academy, achieving academic excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 649-1300.
Calling all small to large scale businesses. The International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, welcome to Building Expo. Yeah.
With the construction of the Bamia Primary School and the extension of Cemetery Road dragging past their completion dates by more than a year, the chairman of the Alliance for Change, David Patterson, today said the contractors for the two multi-million-dollar projects should have been fired by now. 1 year after its deadline, the Bamia Primary School remains incomplete, despite several extensions. Back in November 2021, Statement Investment was awarded the contract for the construction of the school to the tune of $346 million, with a completion date of July of 2023. But despite all assurances the school would be completed by April 1 of this year, the contractor has since requested another extension. In the case of the $475 million Cemetery Road expansion project, it is now 2 years behind the deadline. In an attempt to accelerate the project, the Public Works Ministry has hired 2 subcontractors to assist the main contractor, Avinash Construction and Metalworks Company.
I mean, obviously, any other contractor other than a friend and family would have been fired. And immediately, you cannot have a school, particularly in Bamia, you mean school term is opening in September. They've already started registering students, primary school students, and the school is available to the residents 2 years after. Cemetery Road, 2 years after. It's inconceivable that any contractor should be given such a lifeline. They should have been fired, penalized, and of course sent off. But unfortunately, they seem to be protected, by the government.
Patterson said after developing a culture of handing out contracts to family, friends, and favorites, the government is now attempting to right the wrongs that it created when it allowed for the country's procurement system to be bypassed. But the damage, he said, has already been done, with a number of infrastructure projects facing extensive delays. According to Patterson, almost all of the projects awarded to the new breed of contractors are either incomplete or were completed beyond the contract deadline. He said aside from the Bamia Primary School, the North Ramville School, the St. George's School, the Christchurch Secondary School, all remain incomplete. The Karasbai Secondary School project is also at a standstill, with no explanation. Patterson said the situation is no different in the case of other infrastructure projects.
Despite having paid a contractor over $6 billion since 2022, the multi-story office complex being constructed by the Ministry of Public Works is still at the preliminary design stage. At CGIA, 4 years on, work is still ongoing 4 years after the PPP returns to office, with no end in sight. Hospitals, the government has boasted that they're building several new hospitals in several regions. Not a single hospital has been completed. The PPP boasted in their manifesto that they will be restarting all the sugar estates. And after having expended billions of dollars, all of these factories remain closed or incomplete. The relocation of the Enmore packaging factory was to have been completed this year. That also remains uncompleted.
David Patterson, who served as a Minister of Public Infrastructure under the APNU-AFC government, said a number of roads remain incomplete also, including the expansion of the Conversation Tree Road, the Lamaha Street, and the Crane to Schoonard Bypass Road. He said in the case of the Heroes Highway, though completed, it is already showing signs of disrepair, and it is anticipated that urgent interventions will be needed to rectify a number of defects, particularly at the approaches to the bridges and culverts.
While citizens are very grateful for the numerous roads constructed, there are complaints about the design of these roads. The width of all these new roads have been reduced to 10 feet or less, making it impossible for two vehicles to traverse the road. The comment in most communities is that the government is constructing walkways instead of roadways.
In the energy sector, the gas-to-energy project is already facing delays, and Patterson is not optimistic that the new Demerara Bridge will be completed as scheduled. The contract for the bridge was signed in May 2022, with a construction period of 2 years. However, Patterson said the project is less than 20% complete and is unlikely to be completed before 2026. A 52-year-old New York-based Guyanese man who is originally from Durban Street in Georgetown has been charged with attempting to export gold without being the holder of a gold export license and failing to declare his gold and gold jewelry to the Guyana Revenue Authority at the airport. The accused, Ivan Anthony Scipio, was arrested at the Chelly Jagan Airport on the 3rd of July as he prepared to board a New York-bound flight. In a statement today, the Guyana Police Force said Scipio was found to be in possession of several pieces of jewelry and raw gold, although he was not the holder of a gold export license. The police said the gold was valued at just above $6.7 million. The man was charged with the offense of exporting gold without a license in contravention of Section 8 of the Guyana Gold Board Act, Chapter 6601. Scipio appeared at the Diamond Magistrates Court before Magistrate Judy Latchman on Thursday, where he pleaded not guilty to the charge. He was granted bail in the sum of $800,000, with the condition that he reports to the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force on the last Friday of every month for the duration of the trial. He will appear in court again on the 19th of August.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, 9, and 10 students for the 2024-2025 academic year. VYC Academy, achieving academic excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 649-1300.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster, grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavor, flavors. Bust the flavor, flavors.
The Alliance for Change today called for the Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken and other senior ranks under his command to proceed on leave amid growing allegations of corruption, including financial impropriety and possible money laundering in the Guyana Police Force. Hicken, who reached the retirement age since last year, had his tenure as Acting Commissioner of Police extended by President Irfan Ali in July of last year. Today, AFC Executive and Member of Parliament Kemraj Ramjatan said now might be a very good time for Hicken to retire.
Yes, there is ground sufficient here for the retirement because you want him to also go on leave pending the investigations, and also because of the fact that he has reached the age. You suffer the deputies that ought to arise when you extend the life, and I have been public on this for over 20 years.
Already, Assistant Police Commissioner Calvin Brutus has proceeded on leave in wake of the serious allegations of financial impropriety that have been leveled against him. Ramjatan, a former Minister of Public Security, said the Guyana Police Force should be a bastion of the best and brightest. But now it finds itself facing corruption allegations of its own, and at the very top.
It seems with all the allegations being hurled around and the documents to support them in the social media from whistleblowers, that the top posts of the Guyana Police Force are highly coveted, not because of a desire to serve and protect, but because these top posts open doors to extraordinary power and riches.
He also said instead of seeking to launder money through the Guyana Police Force's credit union or secure contracts for personal greed, those at the top must direct their minds on how to combat crime in the country. Mr. Ramjatan said given the prevailing situation, those suspected to be involved in acts of corruption should be sent on leave to allow for an independent investigation into the allegations leveled against them. Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben recently expressed his deep concern over the allegations of procurement fraud within the police force. There are a number of calls for an independent probe to be conducted into the allegations of corruption in the Guyana Police Force. Currently, the Special Organized Crime Unit of the police force is investigating the allegations against Assistant Commissioner Calvin Brutus. Ghanaian company contractor today presented a feasibility study to the Georgetown City Council on a project that could see the iconic Stabroek Market being transformed into a state-of-the-art facility, featuring more than 1,000 additional stalls, a fish market, a food court, more than 300 parking spaces for visitors, and 2 docks to support the market supply chain. During an extraordinary meeting of the council today at the Kitty Market, Technical Director of Contractor Reginald Longden said the transformative project would see the market having 2 floors to accommodate the additional vendors, in particular those who are currently vent on the outskirts of the facility.
We're doing something that comprises 2 levels. There's the ground and then there's the first. Okay. The reason that we're constrained to ground and first is because we're dealing with an existing building that we do not want to change. It has to retain its character, it has to retain the volumes, because that becomes the centerpiece. That is what is going to draw people to it. Like I said, you have got the market component and you've got the tourism component, which we've got to milk it to maximum benefit. Okay? So we will be limited to these 2 levels, the ground and then the first, which is basically a mezzanine.
He also said in order to address the lighting issue within the existing facility, contractor in its proposal recommended that high-level windows be installed to address the issue of lighting and ventilation. Longden also said overall the project is designed to address three primary issues: the need for expansion and the inclusion of additional stalls, the promotion of tourism, and the issue of congestion, including parking.
The tourism component that leads to it. What we are proposing is that on the seaward side, we have there a specialty fish market stroke restaurants. On the lower section of the ground floor section, we'll have kind of open cafe type fast food fish specialty restaurants. I mean, we're not going to run, but find people in that specialist arena. And what that does, it draws tourists into this place, okay? And at the same time, selling fish products, fresh fish products, which are landed on this side here, and then it is utilized here. And on the first floor, you have now proper specialty fish restaurants. So that means that your market not only operates from 9 to 5, but goes on through the evenings, and you're bringing people in. And because people are coming to this special place, Starbrook Market, from there's a link that takes you through the market space and to the tower. And we're going to stiffen and stabilize that tower so that you can go up to the top and have city views.
The project also takes into account the Vendors Arcade and the Starbrook Bazaar. Longden said with the required funding, the project could be completed within 3 years and would significantly increase revenue generation in the commercial zone. His presentation was welcomed by the councillors who were present, with the City Mayor Alfred Mentor explaining that the project would provide greater accommodation for vendors, particularly those engaged in street vending, and who in recent months have had to relocate from the vicinities of major businesses. He, however, acknowledged that due to the magnitude of the project, financial support would be needed from government and financial institutions for it to materialize. The study was commissioned based on a recommendation by the British High Commissioner, Jane Miller.
Hey Guyana, are you ready for an African explosion of culture as the African Culture and Development Association ACTA hosts Emancipation Festival 2024, featuring premier cultural acts from top Guyanese groups, South America, the Caribbean, and around the world. Come, let's celebrate the culture of our forefathers with African food, history, fashion, innovation at Guyana's biggest cultural festival. August 1st in the National Park. Gates open at 10 a.m. See you there. Around day, we all pull together.
Calling all small to large scale businesses. The International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy. Or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, welcome to Building Expo. Yeah.
Be another car, or is it a house?
If you're looking for sweetness to put inside a basket, I am the whole blinking market.
Get ready for the 3rd edition of Blankets and Baskets on August 4, 2024.
The Maltino's ground comes alive with Guyana's best entertainers and a vibe that can't be matched.
Come for a chance to win numerous prizes,
including the grand prize of a... Tickets are $6,000 with other special luxury packages
from $40,000 to $120,000.
It's the Blankets and Baskets Extravaganza.
For more information, check out Blankets and Baskets on Facebook.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
NYC, New York City. Get ready as the original Big People Party with the same vibes you've seen and loved comes to you this Labor Day weekend on Saturday, August 31st with some of the biggest one-man bands out of Guyana and New York. Look out for Super A, Murphy, Busta, and Super Terry. Big People Party! Along with the legendary Glenn Washington.
Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right.
Glenn Washington and his band at Industry City, New York City. Get your super early bird general tickets at $40 and VIP access $150 all inclusive. And all are available at hjexperience.com. This event is brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, and GD Events. It's the original Big People Party at Industry City, New York City on Saturday, August 31st. The big and proper edition.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado and her coalition's candidate Edmundo Gonzalez have commanded enthusiastic crowds during their campaign to unseat President Nicolas Maduro and end 25 years of ruling party dominance, according to Reuters. But uncertainty remains about how Sunday's election will play out, with Maduro, whose 2018 re-election is considered fraudulent by the United States, among others, sounding a confident note, and opposition figures and analysts warning of possible underhandedness. Gonzalez has attracted significant support, even from former supporters of the ruling party, but the opposition and some observers have questioned whether the vote will be fair, saying decisions by electoral authorities and the arrests of some opposition campaign staff are meant to create obstacles. Gonzalez and Machado have urged voters to cast ballots early and hold vigils at polling stations until they close. They have said they expect the military to uphold the results of the vote. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on Thursday said the recently signed natural gas agreements between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela are a major step in maintaining the quality of life in Trinidad and Tobago. On Wednesday, Venezuela granted a 20-year natural gas production and exploration deal for its cross-border gas field to BPTT and state-owned natural gas company. This follows agreements for the development of the Dragon and Manatee natural gas fields. In 2023, Venezuela granted a license for the exploration, production, and exploration of gas from the Dragon field, which is located within the country's maritime boundary. On July 9, 2024, Shell took a final decision for the development of the Manatee field located in the East Coast Marine area. At the post-cabinet news conference at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's, the Prime Minister explained that securing these deals and extracting gas as a result were crucial to ensuring TNT's power generation and important energy sector industries remained in operation for years to come. And finally tonight, international news. Barack Obama has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic presidential nominee, ending days of speculation over whether he would support her. Former President Obama and ex-First Lady Michelle Obama said in a joint statement they believe Ms. Harris has the vision, the character, and the strength that this critical moment demands. Mr. Obama was reportedly among more than 100 prominent Democrats Ms. Harris spoke to after President Joe Biden announced last Sunday he was dropping out of the race. In a statement at the time, Mr. Obama praised Mr. Biden's exit, but stopped short of endorsing Ms. Harris. The U.S. Vice President has already secured the support of a majority of Democratic delegates, setting her on course to become the official nominee at the party convention in August. The Obamas said in Friday's statement that they could not be more thrilled to endorse Ms. Harris. They vow to do everything they can to elect her.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.